I remember having a white and yellow California Raisin t-shirt around this time. Like, it was everywhere. And then it just went, and it was gone. It disappeared. Yeah. And it's never really come back. Inspired by the adventures of our nurses, therapists, and techs, A Beer with Atlas is the only healthcare traveling, craft beer drinking podcast. Each week, we'll open a few beers, talk about the brewery and the style of beer, and then dive into some research curated specifically for each episode. In the end, we hope each one sounds like a conversation you'd have with your friends while enjoying a few cold ones.
Woo, save the best for last. Week 4 of Drown Out 2020. Welcome to another episode of A Beer with Atlas. I'm Rich.
I'm drowning.
What year are we drowning out? I've already forgot.
Well, we are well into 2021 at this point.
Yeah.
So, but we are doing our best to forget what happened last year. And, yeah, we got a couple fun ones this week.
I think so.
Yeah.
All right, so 2 from Platform. Oh, excuse me, I still have some chips in my throat.
I mean, you know, you gotta have a snack now, man.
Gotta eat something here. 2 from Platform Brewing Company in Cleveland, Ohio. Oh boy. One, I believe they're both from the Funkenship location.
Oh, okay. So some souries.
Some sour beers. So, well, one of them at least. So, one is a Caramelicious Milk Stout, salted caramel chocolate.
Ooh, that sounds good.
You should like that.
Caramelicious.
Caramelicious.
That's what I order at Scooter's Coffee.
A Caramelicious.
Caramelicious, yeah.
And then Froot Hoops,
Yeah.
cereal-inspired sour ale brewed with natural flavors.
Okay.
And then we will. I want to end with the Oatmeal Raisin Cookie.
That's a good night beer. Bleh.
Oatmeal Raisin Cookie.
Oatmeal Raisin Cookie Brown Ale from Cigar City.
Why couldn't it be chocolate chip or sugar cookie? Why'd it have to be oatmeal raisin?
Hey, there are some weirdos out there that like Oatmeal Raisin Cookies.
They are weirdos because when I go for the Oatmeal Raisin Cookie, it's not on purpose. It's because I think it's a chocolate chip.
Yeah. On accident, definitely. Yep.
Yeah, nothing breaks a trust like that.
Okay, so let's go. We'll start with Platform first because we've done these guys before.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to do first? You want to do the sour or do you want to do the stout?
Oh,
Let's do the sour.
let's do this.
Or the stout.
Yeah, let's do the sour.
Okay.
Let's do that.
So I have a feeling this will be very similar to. Oh, the color's fun.
Oh yeah, look at that.
This will be real similar to.
Very red. Very red.
Gosh, what was it? From a couple weeks back. Help me out, Dolan. It was WeldWorks, right? Was it WeldWorks? When we did the Saturday morning tunes?
Oh, wow. That was a few weeks back.
Yeah.
Man, I barely remember that one.
There was also one that I got at the same time that we didn't end up doing on the show, but we drank. It was called like Bam Bam Rubble Rubble or something. It was
Flintstone
It was
style.
Definitely a Flintstone style.
Was it Fruity Pebbles-ish?
It was definitely, yes. But it was a little more sour, and quite honestly, it could have been more.
Oh,
It
that's my
was
favorite.
fine.
One of my favorite cereals, Fruity Pebbles, by the way.
Oh, really?
This
Yeah.
smells so good.
I like Fruity Pebbles too.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about this can, the Froot Hoops can from Platform, is they did their own take on the
bird.
on the Froot Loops toucan, but it's not a toucan on this can. It's just a regular
Whoa,
bird.
that's got some sourness to it.
Yes, it does.
It's got fruit flavor.
It.
Pucker.
Oh yeah,
He said pucker.
pucker.
Everybody.
Don't
pucker.
put the e beside the. Yeah.
Or yeah.
Or you probably will anyway, I guess. But but here's the thing. I'm going to make a parallel to that bird and the toucan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. It's just different enough, and this is just different enough.
But it's reminiscent, like we know what it's supposed
But
to
it's
be.
pretty
Yeah.
similar. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Froot Hoops.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I'm buying the generic cereal in the. You
mean,
go
I
down
don't-
the aisle and
I don't know what the generic for that one is. I do know Fruity Dino Bites
Yeah.
is Fruity Pebbles
I
because that's
guess
what
like-
we buy. But
like-
I don't know about Fruit Hoops.
Fruitios or
It's
something.
I think it's like
Fruitios
Fruit-O's
or
or
something.
Fruitios or something. Some of those generic cereals are way better than the original.
yeah.
Like Like
Cinnamon
the
Toast Crunch one. That one's pretty good.
the Apple Jacks one.
Oh.
It's
Apple Jacks.
It's like apple cinnamon something. I don't know what the generic brand's usually called at my store, but I prefer those over the actual ones. The actual.
This beer is pretty phenomenal.
I do like
I mean, it's enough tartness to like keep you like licking your lips, but the fruit is amazing. Like, oh, yum! That's really good. This came out of the Cleveland facility, which is where the Funkin' Ship is.
Funkin' Ship location, yes.
Yeah, so that's where that came from.
Yep.
Here's what I have on this brewery, because we got 2 of their beers in a row.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So 2014, kind of their founding time, I believe.
Yes, I believe that's right.
Here, I wrote down just some of their year-round beers. A lot of times we talk about seasonals. So I wrote down some of the year-round ones. This is one we talked about before, Haze Jude.
Haze Jude.
The Hazy IPA, the can art was really cool. New Cleve is their Pilsner, they call it. So it's a pale Pilsner.
Oh.
So New Cleveland.
Okay.
Speed Merchant is their IPA. And then this is Rosalini, a peach rose apple ale.
Oh.
That sounds really good.
Sounds fancy, right?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Preem, Preem. Not the stuff you put on roses to kill bugs.
Right.
This is a dry hopped light lager. And then here's one you would like, I think.
Okay.
Open Market Peach Apricot.
Yeah.
A Nordic white ale.
I'm going to stop you right there. A couple days ago, I was watching TV,
Okay.
and it was the Great American Light Battle Festival show.
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
You know where they
Christmas light one,
Christmas
yeah.
lights or whatever.
Yeah.
And they went to a place, and this I believe this solves the question that we've had, because you said it right there, and you said it incorrectly.
Well, oh, okay.
Yeah, apricot. Remember, we've had this conversation
Yeah,
before,
maybe.
right? There was a place that was participating in the light show that ran an apricot farm.
Okay.
They had apricot trees,
Yeah.
and they said it's pronounced apricot.
Yeah.
They sell them. This is what they do. This is their job, and they pronounce it apricot.
I mean, they're wrong, but
But it's not apricot.
It is
No, it's definitely
apricot.
apricot, yeah.
And she was very clear. The mom, and you're not arguing with the mom,
well, usually not. No.
right? The mom was very clear. It was pronounced apricot.
Either way, they suck.
Probably good in a beer though.
Oh, I would think so. And I think, your assessment
Yeah.
would be right on. I would love that beer.
Yeah. Here's some other stuff. They have something called an Arnie Palmer,
Oh,
which we've talked
we
about.
just talked about that recently.
So they have something like that.
Okay.
They have 2 different, before this one, cereal flavored sour beers. So this is in the series. One of them is, well, I guess this is the second one. The first one was called Apple Zaps. So not Apple Jacks, but Apple Zaps.
just enough to not get sued.
They also have an Imperial Stout. This is a great name.
Okay.
Darn Putin. Darn Putin. Imperial Stout. And then Wabbit Fudd is their carrot cake amber ale.
Yes.
So these guys know how to name a beer and have a little bit of fun. So, I would like to try some more of those beers, please.
So, very similar. I wrote down some other names of beers I liked from them, too.
And it wasn't Darn Putin?
No.
Okay.
They have a whole series based on yams.
Yeah. So
Did you see this?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. So they have one called the Candy Pecan Yammy,
Okay.
which is a sweet potato ale, right?
Yeah.
Say that again.
Candied Pecan Yammy.
Yummy.
Candied pecan yummy. Okay.
They have a s'mores Yammy. So all these are
S'mores. Oh, well,
gourd
that'd probably be
based,
pretty
right?
good. Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet potato based. And then for those who can't get enough sweet potato, they have the Yammy Yammy. Yammy Yammy.
Double yam.
Yam.
I've never had a
Yam.
yam beer, I don't think. I mean, I've had pumpkin beers, but not yam.
I've never had a yam
Pumpkin, beet. No yams. I just thought that was fun. I'd like to have a yam beer on here. Why not?
I agree.
A couple other sours that come out of the Funkin' Ship location.
Okay.
Everybody Stay Calm is the name of their wit beer. So they're white ale, but it's with bretromycin.
Brettanomyces.
There you go.
That one. Yeah, makes it sour. Yeah.
Yep. Their Belgian strong is called Go Slowly.
Ghost slowly?
Go
slowly.
Go slowly.
So it's like, it's strong. Take your time.
Just take your time.
Gotcha.
Go
It's a good
slowly.
idea and good advice. I wouldn't take it, but I would definitely, at least read the label.
Sure. Motion picture soundtrack is their Tart Blonde Ale.
That's a cool name. I like
That's
that.
a cool name, yeah. Civil Dusk is a dry hopped blended oak aged sour. There's a lot going on there.
Dry hop. So it's.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's red.
I would assume so.
Dry. It's probably dry like champagne.
Yep.
And
And
it's
then
probably pretty good. Yeah.
finally, no batteries included.
Oh.
Is a
That's
oak
cool.
aged farmhouse ale.
Okay.
So an
I'd probably
oak barrel
like that.
aged farmhouse, no batteries included.
Do you remember the movie?
Batteries not included? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Kids of the 80s, man.
Yep.
The
Do you
one
think
doesn't
the guy?
No, I don't.
Do you think the guy that wrote that on the package for the first time got any royalties whatsoever off of that?
No,
Batteries not included.
probably not.
Probably not.
That's too bad.
Should have trademarked that.
Yeah, he definitely should have.
Here's what I got for us on this beer.
Okay.
Froot Loops.
Yep.
I did some Froot Loops
Yes.
research.
Oh, okay.
This is, we've done some cereal research in the past.
Sure.
And this is a cereal I grew up eating once in a while. Wasn't my favorite, but I wasn't mad if Mom brought it home. Froot Loops originally was called Froot Loops, Fruitloops,
Spelled correctly.
in 1959. They used repurposed equipment from a cereal that Kellogg's made previously that were called OKs or / Apple Jacks. So it's like, they're reusing it. Okay, we have this press that makes circles. What can we do? Here we go. Froot Loops. Well, guess what? There's a lawsuit. Gets all the way to Supreme Court. Paxton versus Kellogg's. The name was misleading because there's actually not any real fruit in Froot Loops.
Okay.
So Kellogg's agrees to settle the lawsuit by changing the spelling of the name from fruit to fruit, F-R-O-O-T. So that's in 1963. So 4 years later, it's spelled F-R-O-O-T. This is another one of those
Mandela effects.
Mandela effects
We just talked about
referenced
that.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for 4 years, it was spelled correctly. Then they said, okay, yeah, we don't have any real fruit in here. There's nothing really good for you in this cereal. We will call it Fruit O. When it was first released, it had 3 colors of the O's, right?
Okay.
The loops.
Yep.
Red, orange, and yellow. And then they introduced a little bit later, like 1960. So we're talking right like the year after it came out and before it was fruit with double O's, Toucan Sam shows up.
Yes.
That's when he's created, 1960.
Okay.
So he's 60 years old this year.
Wow.
He was voiced in the commercials by Blanc,
Really?
voice of Looney Tunes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Bugs Bunny, and
yeah.
a bunch of others. His slogan was "Just follow your nose," and that's kind of as a kid growing up with those cartoons and commercials. That's something that you saw a lot.
Yeah.
In 2012, in the UK, this was the colors available. So we originally in the United States had whatever I just said, red, orange, yellow. Well, in the United Kingdom, they had orange, green, and purple. That was their colors.
Weird.
As of right now, recording, there have been 17 different kinds of Froot Loops made,
Oh.
which makes kind of weird, right?
So does the Mandela effect then come from that name change? Or, I mean, because
Well-
isn't that the Mandela effect? I can't remember what it
Mandela
was.
effect is because people thought Nelson Mandela died in prison,
That's
Right.
but
Yeah.
he didn't.
No.
But everybody thought he did.
Right.
So that's why it's called that.
Right. But with the Froot Loops, like, wasn't the effect, is it spelled fruit or is it spelled F-R-O-O-T?
Now it's spelled
F-R-O-O-T,
F-R-O-O-T, but everybody thinks it's F-R-U-I-T.
Right. So is it really a Mandela effect? If it was,
Oh, I think so.
Yeah?
Because if you were to ask me before we even talked about it, however many episodes back, we
Right.
I would have sworn it was F-R-U-I-T.
Yeah.
Fruit Loops.
I mean, none of us were alive when it was spelled that way.
No.
True.
So we've only been around for the wrong spelling.
Yep.
post lawsuit.
And how many bowls of Froot Loops did we eat as kids?
A lot, yeah. Yeah,
right?
lot.
And we didn't have cell phones back then, so we had to read the box.
Yeah.
Because that's what you did.
That's what you did.
Right.
Yeah, you read the back.
You did the maze on the back.
Had the cutout mask sometimes was on there if you're lucky. Or
Looked for the little toy car on the bottom of it. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was me.
They don't even do that anymore. You don't get toys in the cereal anymore.
Nobody would. No.
They know you need it.
That's why
like, we're not putting anything in here for free.
Yep.
See, and that's why, generic cereal for the win.
There you go.
Get the big bag. It's like carrying a dead body into the shopping cart. Like 25 pounds of fruity Dino Bites.
Yes.
So good.
5.5 ABV. Look, this one has the 8 IBUs and the 13.8 Play-Doh.
Oh, so that's our second one that's had, maybe third that's had Play-Doh.
Yeah, I think so. I think the second one was also the Play-Doh beer, though. Or the Play-Doh, the platform.
Okay, that makes sense.
Platform beer. Yeah.
I will say that as this warmed up a little bit, it got even more sour for me and more delicious. Covers the tongue a lot better.
Here, take the last little bit.
Okay.
It got, I don't know if it's just because it had sat for a while, but the thickness, look, there's definitely a difference. It maybe looks more like V8.
We almost should have rolled that probably.
Probably should have, yes. Well, see, now look.
Now I spilled beer.
You spilled.
Just a drop, though.
Yeah.
Not a whole.
I'm just trying not to drink all of it so that way I still have some.
So this is a series that they do.
Okay.
Cereal beers, right? So if you could pick the next one.
Oh, boy.
What would you pick for a sour? It has to be sour.
Oh, it has to be a sour.
Because that's what they do. It's not like, I don't think Frosted Flakes would be the one you'd want.
No.
So probably some sort of fruity cereal or something. But what would you pick for a sour for their next beer if they could do one?
Man, I mean, Fruity Pebbles would be a good choice.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be too far off.
No.
I'll throw you a curveball here because I think they could do a sour with this.
Okay.
Golden Grams.
Really?
I think so.
A Golden Graham sour.
I think you could do it.
Okay, so before you made the rule that it has to be a sour, my mind instantly went to Kix. Because Kix is my favorite cereal.
That was one of the best. That's one of the best opens of our podcast we've ever done.
Wow.
You were so mad. What's your favorite cereal? Kix.
Yeah, I don't.
What's
you
wrong
were
with you?
mad. What is wrong with you?
I mean, you might as well say grape nuts.
Right.
What the heck?
Right. Frosted mini wheats.
But I think a really fun one would be the berry Captain Crunch.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
They make
Yeah.
a Christmas Captain Crunch.
Yes.
I saw at Costco the other day. I have in my notes written down Graham's Gold. So that might be a beer that they made.
Okay.
I have no context. I just have it written in my notes from a month ago. I don't know where it is. Maybe it's a beer of theirs. I'm trying to think about what would be a good sour beer that's a cereal that's still around that we would know about.
Yeah, I'd have to stick with mine. Berry Captain Crunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like a berry cinnamon sour. Sure.
I'm going to go on a limb here.
Okay.
And I, for some reason, actually like this cereal if you put some sugar on it. I'm going Raisin Bran.
Whoa.
Okay.
And you.
And I hate raisins.
Don't
hate
like
raisins.
But Raisin Bran, it wasn't bad. If you lumped a shit ton of sugar in there,
I guess.
like you could scoop it off the bottom of the bowl with your spoon. Like
And you could pick out all the raisins.
you throw those out, and then
Yeah.
you have that's what I would go. Like a sour Raisin Bran.
I feel the same way
Interesting.
about grape nuts, though. I can put sugar on grape nuts.
Yeah?
Maybe you put it in the microwave for a little bit. You heat
God.
it up a little bit.
Oh.
And I can do that.
Why is that the only one you warm up in the? I mean, that's
I
just
don't
not,
know.
That's not cereal.
Because otherwise you'd have to get some dental work done because they're so.
Yeah, you're breaking your fucking teeth. That's for
Yes.
sure.
Oh,
yes.
It's like eating nerds.
What is your least, like, what is your most hated cereal?
That's something boring like cornflakes or Life.
Cornflakes. Those are my favorites.
Yeah.
Well,
you're
you like
old school.
Kicks.
Yeah, what am I supposed to do with you? Corn pops.
Pops are the worst. Hands down.
Yeah, I mean, I
Corn
guess
Pops.
like snaps. What's the sugar snaps?
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Oh yeah, with the frog.
Yeah,
Graham something or other, wasn't it?
I can't
I
remember.
remember those. Yeah, those were good. I don't know. I've always liked the random ones. Like I remember having C-3POs.
Yeah.
I remember having the Mr. T cereal.
Mr. T's, yes.
Pac-Man had a cereal. I had those.
The Oreo Batman cereal. Did you guys ever have that?
The Batman cereal?
No,
Yeah.
I never had that.
That was
yeah.
good.
I had the Batman cereal.
Frankenberry.
Frankenberry.
That was one of my favorites. That might be a good sour.
Blueberry, and
Strawberry sour.
Count Chocula.
Yeah, I was never a fruity, yummy mummy guy.
No.
Not for me.
No. But you see, you and I lived in a time where Frankenberry, Blueberry, and Count Chocula were available year-round.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's just Halloween.
It was great.
I was just going to say, yeah, because I didn't get it all the time, but sometimes.
I grew up on Count Chocula.
Wasn't there a Pac-Man cereal?
Oh, there was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
God, so many cereals. This Cap'n Crunch, it tears you up, but it tastes pretty good.
Yeah.
Plain Cheerios. Those are the best.
God, you're so boring.
Man.
Plain
Cheerios.
Apple cinnamon Cheerios? Not even that?
No.
Just Cheerios.
Plain Cheerios or Honey Cheerios. Those are the best.
All right. I hate to derail the cereal conversation here, but
we got to move on.
I opened the Caramelicious.
All right.
And there is a definite caramel, like salted caramel smell coming out of this. For sure.
Okay.
Now, it may have benefited from our little break here in between, so it warmed up a bit. Yeah.
Okay.
So, again, another platform beer, Caramelicious.
Ooh, it smells good.
I don't know if was this one done at the Funkin' Ship location?
I don't think so.
Or was
I
this
saw my research.
The can is different. It's a smaller can than the other two that we've done.
It's still got all the ingredients listed,
it
which
does.
is cool.
Chalk on it.
Chalk.
With that sticker that looks like those places you've been on your back of your car.
Yeah, like
See a
you've
lot of
gone to
those.
the
Denmark or Australia.
It says Mally's Chocolates.
Ooh, so maybe it's in like a collab with some sort of local
They
chocolatier.
They must.
Oh yeah, it's right on their signature. It looks like.
They must use Mally's Chocolates, which might be a local thing, or.
What's the ABV on that? 7? Did I see that right?
7.1.
Okay.
Yeah, you got a face over there, Rich.
Well, I'm trying to analyze the flavor because
it smells amazing.
If any beer has ever nailed a flavor before, I think they've nailed this. Where if you want a beer that tastes like salted caramel with chocolate, that's it. You get every level of that.
It's like a liquid Tootsie Roll, kind of.
Right.
That's good. I like that a lot. Oh, that would be
Whoa.
that would be like a winter staple at my house.
Yeah.
There's a little left. You can put in your big old glass.
Oh
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we were
good.
rating like, okay, what beer got closest on the flavor that it's
To it says, see there. Oh, you didn't spill any.
didn't
on
spill
that
any.
one, though. To what it says on the label.
Yep.
This is it.
I think this is it. You get those different levels.
It's like chocolate up front, and then once you swallow and let it sit a little bit, the aftertaste is salted caramel right there. Just all salted.
And that's what it says: salted caramel and chocolate. So they done did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's chocolate right away and then salted caramel.
Like hold some in your mouth and then breathe out and you get that saltiness.
Yeah.
Like it's right there. Like you get that flavor.
It reminds me of those is it Dove chocolates? Like they have all those different ones, and then it's the salted chocolate one.
Yeah,
that one's my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
If this was, let's say this was 11% and like an imperial stout.
Oh geez.
God, this would be like my favorite beer of all time. Holy smokes.
Here's what's interesting. Only 7.1.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's thinner than you'd think for 7.1. At least for me. And yours looks a little different than mine, color-wise.
It is a little thin, though. I would agree.
It is.
But we're used to like double mash imperial stouts, you know. This is just a stout, a flavored stout.
This is interesting. IBU's 21.
More than some.
I wonder if we're getting if we are mistaking saltiness for bitterness. Bitterness for saltiness. Like, you see what I'm saying?
I mean, maybe, but it doesn't taste bitter.
No.
It tastes, but it doesn't taste salty either. Not like a Goza.
I bet you that kind of gives the like the bitter dark chocolate taste.
Yeah, it could be.
How sometimes your palate will replace one taste for another, or mistake one.
Yeah.
Mistake is the wrong word.
associating it with the other flavors around it.
Associate, replace, whatever.
Yeah.
So you know what would make this like a all-time beer?
Okay.
Some raspberry.
Like
a little bit of raspberry in here. Oh, mama. That'd be good.
That's one thing that's weird too. Like I hate raspberries, like straight fresh
Me
raspberries.
too. I won't ever eat them, but I like them in a drink.
But I like them in raspberry teas, raspberry beers.
You both are wrong.
They have those weird
you're both
hairy
just
tendrils. I'm not a fan. No thanks.
All right. Should we move on to the last one?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
You've got research. I've got research.
Oh, I have a page of research.
Which
on
is
this.
awesome because I thought out of all the beers, out of all 4 of these episodes, we were cleaning out the beer fridge, that we would like the least.
I might not even drink this one.
That
We'll
we
see.
might, right. It's funny that we both maybe came out of this with the most research for all. Maybe we're compensating. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
we'll see.
know.
We'll see what happens.
All right. I haven't opened it yet, but let's start talking about it.
Well, I'll start with this. This is I did research on this type of cookie.
The Oatmeal Raisin Cookie.
Yes, because I didn't know anything about this.
All right. So just so everybody knows, this is the Oatmeal Raisin Cookie Brown Ale from Cigar City Brewing in Tampa, Florida.
Okay. This is a kind of cookie that is called a drop cookie. So a drop cookie is made from pretty soft cookie dough that you just drop on the sheet. You're not pressing it out or folding it or whatever. You're just making like a ball of cookie dough, splapping it on there, right?
Okay.
So it's usually a kind of a mound or like a ball or whatever. And when you cook it, it flattens out.
Okay.
In the United Kingdom, this is the only thing that is a cookie, quote unquote cookie. So when we talk about cookies in the United States, we like have a really big thing about them. Like everything falls under this category.
Yeah.
In the United Kingdom, everything else is called a biscuit.
Biscuit, yep.
So something flat, crispy, crunchy, that's a biscuit.
And there's like, it doesn't even really matter the size or shape or anything. It's just a biscuit.
So this is the only thing that they would consider a cookie is something that you just make and it's like a big ball of cookie dough and right on the pan.
So you're telling me like a designed chocolate chip cookie they would call a biscuit?
Maybe. Or a lot of like shortbread cookies, anything crunchy. Those are
Like
biscuits.
if you over bake a breadstick, like a regular breadstick that you'd get from, I don't know, Olive Garden. If you over baked it, they'd call it a biscuit.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
without garlic or something, but like with like a plain flavor.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have to be sweet,
The Brits are weird like that.
but that's just how it works.
The
So,
American or the Great British Baking Show.
yeah.
Or whatever. I've been watching
Great
a lot
British
of that.
Bake Off or whatever in the tent. Yeah.
Yeah, they talk about all that stuff and what considers it a biscuit versus
There you go. Like
cookie.
biscotti. Think about biscotti.
Yes.
That's a biscuit, not a cookie. And that's
Okay.
our difference. Whereas the United States, everything's a cookie.
Everything's a cookie.
So I did a little bit of research about where these comes from, and I found out that in the Middle Ages, so we're talking, 1400s?
Oh, wow.
There was a recipe for these things called Scottish Oat Cakes. And they were similar as far as ingredients go with like raw oats or ground oats, and raisins, and maybe some, not sugar per se, but something that was sweet. And that's what they made. And they were a little bit crispier, a little bit crunchier, so more like a biscuit than a cookie if you were using the English thing.
Okay.
They've been around forever. So,
Wow.
600 years, 700 years almost.
And the Scots did it first.
Yeah.
Huh.
Then the first recipe that was ever written down in a cookbook or recorded for oatmeal raisin cookies, which allegedly are famous or popular, I don't know why, was by a lady named Fanny Merritt Farmer. And she was kind of like Martha Stewart for the 1800s in England and in the United States, or Betty Crocker. So like she was the one that put out the cookbooks and that people would use her recipes. She was famous. She taught cooking and
I thought you meant she was a felon. So
friend of Snoop Dogg, insider trading. But she was the first one to ever like publish her actual recipe so you could make these things.
okay.
Later on in time, and this is something I remember as a kid, recipes for oatmeal raisin cookies were added to the Quaker Oats container, the round cylinder that had looked like Ben Franklin on the.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So if you turn it around, there's a recipe for oatmeal raisin cookies.
Quaker Oats man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how long that's been around, I guess. It was very popular. I think you can probably still buy that Quaker Oats stuff.
Yeah. And isn't his name just the Quaker Oats man?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But
He doesn't have
he's
a
a
name like...
Quaker, but he kind of looks like Ben Franklin.
Yeah.
But that's where you could find, I guess, famous recipe because it was used a lot.
Huh. Okay, so I poured it. Mm-hmm. I got to tell you, I don't like the smell.
It looks dark.
It does. It's a brown ale, though.
I mean, if compared to the one we did last episode,
Yeah, it's definitely way darker.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks plummy or raisiny. Like it has that color going for it. Oh boy!
Along my beer journey, though, if I were to go into random brewery and I see this is a brown ale, I would order it now.
Just to try it.
Let's see if I would be disappointed or not.
Yeah, you go ahead. You let me know.
Oh boy.
Can we talk about raisins for a second?
Well, it tastes like it, so we might as well.
Oh God!
Oh boy.
Oh, this is very raisin heavy.
Oh my gosh.
Is that what you say?
Yeah. Oh yes.
Oh man.
So if you go
Yes.
trick or treating as a kid, and you get to
horrible.
that house that has the sun-kissed raisins,
I would
you
egg
just
that house.
Throw them back in the trash.
Oh god. Yes.
That's not a snack. It's not a candy. It's not
No.
a treat.
No.
It's like
That's
a punishment.
It's an insult.
I used to
Oh boy!
insult. That's an insult.
I used to take the raisins I got. I mean, no matter where I got it, trick or treating. You know, my mom thought I'd like them. Whatever. Somebody gave me a pack of those little box of raisins or whatever. There was a giant ant farm behind, or not ant farm, ant
Hill or something.
Ant Hill.
Yeah.
Behind my apartment complex that I grew up in, and my neighbor kid, there's a neighbor kid I would always hang out with. We used to go behind the apartment complex and we would like stick fruit, you know, all sorts of stuff like around the ant pile or whatever. And we would like watch the ants like pick it up and put it, like try to drag it into
the
there.
hole.
Yeah. And in Wyoming, there was a ton of fire ants and stuff. And they ate everything, like no matter what we put there. We used to take those raisins and like we both hated them. We just hated them.
Yeah, raisins
We'd
are gross.
rip them up in pieces and we'd drop them all around the ant hill, and literally all the ants would pick them up, drag them down the hole. It was kind of.
I mean, this is back when
neat.
you had TV and video games,
yeah,
and you still did this.
There wasn't anything else to do in Wyoming at the time.
No, I
there's
mean
no internet,
Wyoming's Wyoming. I mean, what's the population in Wyoming? We have Rhode Island has twice the population than
it's
the whole
less-
state of Wyoming.
less than what it would take to become a state now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't tried it yet.
I'll give
I'm
them this.
scared.
If this is the flavor you're going for,
They hit it.
you got it.
It smells like raisin.
I mean, it says it right on
got
there.
it.
Is
You
it
get-
Christmassy at all or not really?
I suppose if you're used to the
It
oatmeal raisin
says
cookie, you got
raisin,
Christmas.
cinnamon, and lactose. How did we get this? Where'd it come from?
This came from one of our Florida friends, and I can't remember who brought this from Florida.
Because
for
I
us.
would say we can't. At least as far as I know, we don't get.
I don't
this.
recall. I don't recall.
You know what? I don't hate it,
I don't either.
but I definitely get the raisin on the back.
Mm-hmm.
It's strong raisin, but it's not. Maybe what I hate about raisins is the texture.
Yeah, that
Maybe that's what it is.
wrinkly,
Maybe.
sacky.
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you. I dropped out the one word I was going to say.
So, but you definitely get the oat flavor too. Like you get
Yeah.
the oatmeal,
Mm-hmm.
right? And maybe that's the lactose and whatever else they're doing there.
I'm just going to read you what their description is.
Right.
The addition of raisins, cinnamon, and milk sugar to our full-bodied and chocolatey brown ale base creates a unique beer that tastes exactly like it was pulled out of Grandma's oven. I kind of have to agree. Like,
Yeah.
that's what they say, and that's what they did.
Yep.
There's a recipe book on here. There's a grandma with oven mitts pulling some cookies out the oven.
Yep.
There's a whisk on the can. There's cookies on a shelf. Like, yeah, it's they done did it.
You know, here's what's interesting. There was I wouldn't say it was completely arbitrary when Dolan and I went through and we separated weeks 1 through 4.
Okay.
It wasn't completely arbitrary,
Sure. You thought about it a little bit.
but I think we actually nailed the 3 beers that taste most like what they say they're going to taste
On
like
this episode?
Yeah.
on this episode.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, no doubt.
Without a doubt. Like if you want 3 beers. This is what they are. Face
Yeah.
value. This is what it says. This is what they are. 100%.
Caramelicious.
Yep.
Froot Hoops.
Yeah.
Fruit Loops.
Yep.
You know.
And
Yep.
this one, yeah.
Oatmeal
Raisin
raisin
Cookie.
This tastes just like an oatmeal raisin cookie.
If I had this at home, like if I had a 6-pack, let's say, somehow, maybe somebody gifted it to me, I'd pour it in a pint glass and I'd rim it with brown sugar.
Yeah.
And then I would maybe put a little bit of cinnamon in there, and it would probably be even better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
I like this more than I thought I would because
Me too.
I'll stab somebody who hands me raisins.
Oh,
I'm not a fan.
I hate raisins. But, you know, and that's what makes me think like, okay, and the other thing is I hate oatmeal.
So you're 0 for 2, 2 out of 3 there.
So, I mean, like the oatmeal raisin, that's 2 things I don't like. This beer, it brings the flavors, and I really think that maybe oatmeal and raisins in general is just a texture thing for me.
yeah, it's like lumpy and smushy, and then it's
chewy
like
and
rigid and lines. No, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got for research?
Okay.
Because I know you got something.
We talked about these guys a couple of weeks back when we went through like the top 10
Yep.
independent breweries. Okay. Canarchy.
Okay.
Canarchy is comprised of Oscar Blues out of Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Cigar City. Perrin, which I know we have never done a Perrin beer, but I
Is
know.
it Perrin?
Yes, that's
okay.
it. Yep. Wasatch, which we've done. Pumpkin beer.
They have a black pumpkin stout. Yeah, we did.
We did that a
2
few
years ago.
2
Yeah.
years ago. Squatters.
They make some West Coast chewy IPAs that I like. Yeah.
Deep Elm.
Yep. Is that Texas?
I want to say that's Texas.
Yeah. That sounds right.
And finally, Three Weavers. I want to say that's South Carolina.
That one I don't know.
It is very spread out.
Yeah.
So maybe that's not South Carolina. Maybe that's more. Anyway, they showed a map, and it is like north, south, east, west.
Like they got all the areas.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're only missing like middle of the country, kind of Colorado, right? I mean, that kind of counts as the middle of the country. Founded in 2008, Canarchy acquired this brewery, Cigar City, in 2016 in a deal valued at $60 million.
Probably worth more than that now.
Oh, yeah. So Cigar City, just for context, founded in 2007 in Florida by a fifth generation Floridian. That's apparently a big deal. Like being a Floridian is a big deal to them or whatever.
I mean, they used to. Isn't Tampa, and that's where they were making cigars.
Yep.
Which is why it's Cigar City, right?
Yes.
Like that was, other than Cuba, that's where you made your cigars in the United States.
I have been known to enjoy a cigar from time to time. I've had some hand-rolled cigars in Tampa before. They're quite good.
Okay.
They're quite good. Okay, so Canarchy is a private equity-backed roll-up. So there a bunch of different companies came together, backed by private equity firm money. Okay. Backed by Fireman's Capital Partners. So we'll call it the FCP. They call it the FCP.
Okay.
Fireman's Capital was founded in 2008 by Dan Fireman, the son of Paul.
Its last name is Fireman.
Fireman.
I was thinking it was Fireman.
Not the actual fireman. No.
Okay.
Yeah. So founded by Dan Fireman, the son of Paul Fireman, former chairman and CEO of Reebok.
Oh, so he kind of knows what business is about.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is for sure, but he was the one that created and managed from 79 to 2006. So he created and managed Reebok during that time frame.
So he's the granddaddy of Reebok pumps.
Yes.
Oh, I wish I had those when I was a kid.
Yep.
Man, 1990. Oh.
2006, he sold the business to Adidas.
Yep.
So he's been around the block. He knows what he's doing. He started the Fireman's Capital Partners private equity firm.
Okay.
Their first foray into beer was 2012 when they purchased a majority interest in the Utah Brewers Cooperative, which is Wasatch and Squatters.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So those two together, they purchased
because Utah has some of those weird liquor laws and stuff we've talked about.
Which I almost wonder why. That's probably why it's called the Brewers Cooperative.
Yeah.
Right. So then at the same time, Oscar Blues founder Dale Katchis, Katechis, Katchis.
Sure. Caramelicious, yeah.
Sure. Was searching for a way to expand his own brewery. Like he knew he wanted to get more distribution, but do it in a way that he still controlled. Okay. So he formed West Side Distributing with owner Keith Klopik, Klopcic, Klopcic. There we go. And acquired Perrin Brewing Company.
Okay.
See how it's starting to come together.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're getting some distribution here. So he's like, okay, Perrin is in a different state. I got mine here in Colorado. I can brew my beer here. I brew Perrin beer here. I can brew there. They brew my beer there. There we go. I got distribution in both states now. Okay. March 2015, FCP invested $133 million into Oscar Blues.
Yeah.
So those guys came to Oscar Blues.
That was a big year.
Huge.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, big deal. And they became the majority investor in Oscar Blues.
Have you been to Oscar Blues?
Multiple times.
There's like 2 locations in Colorado.
There's one in Lyons,
Yeah.
which is not far. I've been there so many times I can't even count.
Is that the one that has like you can tour and it's like you walk up on a catwalk or something?
That one.
Is that the other one?
That's the other one.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Lyons, Colorado is a tiny, tiny town.
Yeah.
But Oscar Blues is like right in the middle of it.
Okay.
And it's like this kind of the center of town sort of thing.
Sure.
And it's close enough for us that when we go to Colorado, when we go to Estes Park, it's a 20-minute drive.
Oh, not bad.
And it's super nice. And they got good food. Their
Yeah, I've
pizza,
heard the barbecue and pizza was good there.
Yep.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, we've had their pizza multiple times. You would especially enjoy their pizza.
I love
Yeah.
I mean, I love like a Totino's pizza. So
Yeah,
if
yeah.
it's better than that, it's gravy.
So at that point, 2015, they've got 4 breweries between them. Okay. So the 2 of them together saw some opportunity and they formed this Canarchy. Okay. In 2016. So 2015.
Cool name.
All kind of comes together. 2016, they're like, hey, wait a minute. We got something here.
Let's work smarter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Independent, you wouldn't know. Mm-hmm. Now, okay, so that's the argument with a lot of these. Two weeks ago, we had a brewery that was owned by Anheuser-Busch.
Sure.
Okay? You wouldn't know. It's not on the can anyway.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago, we had a beer. Doesn't matter.
Right.
We didn't know. But this is a way for those guys to still brew their own beers, do their own thing, get distribution in different states, and then grow because of it. All backed by private equity money.
So I know here in town, every once in a while, at least for me, where I live in Papillion, there's a lot of like cold storage places.
Yes.
And a lot of trucks come in and out.
Yep.
And every once in a while, you'll see a squatter's truck that has Wasatch on the side.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I haven't yet to see it say Cigar City or whatever, but I've seen those. So I guess it kind of makes sense that you would pair up in that way or join up, not to fight anybody, but just to get a little bit better distribution on your stuff.
Yep.
And maintain control. Because I guess if you want to get bigger without compromising, that's probably the way that
That's how you do it. So here's I have seen it. It just happened recently. Friend of the show, Steve Seitner, who big beer nerd, right?
Yep.
Every time I would go to Florida, he'd be like, "Oh, you got any High Life? Drink some High Life at Florida Cracker." Right? I mean, that's the best Steve Seitner I could do.
Yeah.
You start seeing that now here just slowly. We have High Life. Now we have Florida Cracker. Now, and it's starting to take shelf space at our local beer places. So here's what it can do. So here, it kind of gave, if you go to Canarchy's website, it kind of gives you kind of these case studies.
Okay.
Here's just one in particular, and I picked this one because it is Cigar City in particular. 2017. So 2 years after the deal is done. Okay? Cigar City doubled its out-of-state distribution and doubled its production, increasing shipments by 43% from 65,000 to 92,000 barrels.
Dang.
In the same period, Oscar Blues increased production by 20% just in its North Carolina brewery.
Yeah, because I knew they had a second spot down there.
Yep. So distribution out.
It's like in Asheville, I think, around that area.
East Coast. Yeah.
Huh.
So That's what it can do. They increase Cigar City, this beer, this company right here, increase their shipments 43% just because of their
These deals they
association with Canarchy.
That's pretty cool.
Now, here's the thing, because this is a world that I live in every day as an owner of Atlas, is every single day a private equity firm calls and says or emails or texts or whatever and says, hey, if you're ever interested,
let me know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, you got to understand what comes with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
They want a return on their money. Private equity is somebody.
They want to say on what you've used that money for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They want a seat on the board. They want to tell you how, they want a certain percentage back. We've seen it with other agencies in our industry, and it happens. So you got to be okay with them asking for a 10, 15, 20% return on their money every year. But if you're increasing your shipments by 43%, and you're going from 65,000 barrels to 92,000 barrels, they're getting it.
Yeah,
they're 100% getting what they want.
Make sure. Yeah, I mean, for them, it probably makes sense on that stuff.
Right. It's you're dancing with the girl that brought you, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So there you go. And I think and I teased this a little bit a couple of weeks ago, is 3 different ways you can do it. You can stay independent. You can just have your own little distribution and
or
be
no
happy with
distribution.
that. Or none, right? Yeah. Like our South Dakota beer from last week, right? Good beer, 0 distribution.
Or like Boiler in Lincoln.
Yep.
Don't even can. You have to get a crowler if you're lucky.
Right.
Like that sort of thing. Yeah.
Or you sell to Anheuser-Busch, and then and then beer nerds mock you.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And they still drink you in secret, right? Yeah. They still drink your beer.
Yep.
But then, on the message boards, you're like, "Oh, you sell out."
It's kind of like riding a moped. It's fun until your friends find out.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about that. You don't proclamate that, but
or this way, you join forces, you take money, you understand the money that you're taking, you take money from a private equity firm, and you grow because of it, and you get the distribution that you want.
Yeah.
This model, to me, the more I researched this, the more I thought, man, these guys have got it figured out.
Sure.
At first, when I heard Cigar City sold to Oscar Blues, because that was the original story, was Cigar City sold to Oscar Blues, and I thought, sellouts.
That's the headline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not. That wasn't what happened, and I couldn't be.
I mean, there's a reason we can maybe get some of these beers now, right? Where we couldn't before.
Yeah.
We're pleading with people to bring them back from Florida for us. So
please bring me Florida Cracker, because that's a really good wit beer, and I like it a lot.
We're making Seitner throw his socks out of his suitcase and stuff beers in there instead. That's how it works.
Yep.
So here's the research I did. And I could have snuck this into a Christmas episode, but I didn't. And then when I found out we were doing this beer, I was like, okay, here's where we're doing it.
Awesome.
California Raisins. The California Raisins.
You heard it through the grapevine?
That's exactly right. Now you and I know what we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if Dolan will know. 1984.
Yeah.
I'm 5 or 6 years old. You're probably 10.
10.
Dolan's -8.
Yeah.
They are introduced by the California Raisin Initiative, CRI. Okay. So not unlike what we talked about a couple weeks ago about the almond overage in California.
Yeah.
They had a whole bunch of raisins in California. And they're like, how do we increase demand and awareness of our brand? We need to sell these raisins, right?
We can't just put them in the landfill where they belong.
Right.
I feel
next to the ET game.
California has had a surplus of just
everything that nobody wants.
Avocados, raisins, almonds.
But they never have enough money for... okay, anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
So the first commercial featuring the California Raisins was a 30-second commercial. It cost $300,000.
In 84, that was a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Will Vinton Studios did the claymation for it.
Yep.
And they became famous and did a lot of other movies and stuff and other commercials. But that was their very first big deal. A guy named Buddy Miles was in the band and drummed and sang the song heard it through the grapevine.
Yeah.
So Buddy Miles is a famous jazz drummer and band leader, basically. And he is the guy, the voice of the California Raisins. In 1989, they have, on the popularity of these commercials, they did a couple of them. They set out and they make like a special, like a review special, or like a something that has comedy and music and like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
They used to have them in the 70s a lot. So they made one in 1989, and it was Emmy nominated. It was just called Meet the Raisins. So you got to meet all the individual band members of the group or whatever.
5 years after they were...
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
In 1989, debuted a cartoon on CBS, Saturday morning cartoon. Only lasted from 89 to 90. Then they had probably 3 or so celebrities that were turned into California Raisins.
Oh.
One of them was Ray Charles, and the other one was Michael Jackson.
Really?
And that one was in 1990, I think. The Michael Jackson version, it was a commercial. That's what they were, commercials to sell raisins. And he was a raisin, and he did the moonwalk.
I recall that.
That was in movie theaters, which is maybe why you remember it.
Maybe.
So in 5,700 movie theaters in the United States, this commercial for California Raisins showed up in 1989. In 1986, the first performance of the Raisins showed up on TV. It was on like a commercial during like a late night show, like Johnny Carson style, like it was late at night thing. And they just got super popular, like bang, overnight. This is a big deal. They won awards for ads in Houston. So I guess in Houston, Texas, there's a big advertising every year sort of thing, kind of like what we have over behind my shoulder there. Yep. They had, well, his name in the commercial was Michael Raisin, not Michael Jackson, but Michael Raisin. and that commercial that they made won a gold medal in the International Film and TV Festival in New York City in 1987. So it was like the best commercial of the year.
Okay.
They had a contest. The other 3 people that were in the group, you could name them. So we see that in Omaha, the zoo. Sometimes they have new animals are born. Like, hey, write in your suggestion and maybe you'll win.
Yep.
So they did something similar to that, and they said, hey, name our raisins that we don't have named yet.
Okay.
So here's the 3 names of that one: Ben Indison, because that's a grape.
Ben in the sun.
Ben Indison.
Okay.
Justin X Grape. That was the other one. And then the last one was named Tiny Goodbite. So they have those commercials, 1986. That's when they roll them out. After the very first commercial, a 20% increase in sales of California Raisins happens. And they're like, wow, this is a winner.
Yeah.
And they kind of pressed it, right? This is the part I remember.
Like a fool when stay too long.
They had albums. They had music.
Yes.
They had 4 albums in total. 2 million copies sold, which is more than Dolan and I are ever going to sell anything.
Wow.
They had toys you could get in a kids' meal at Hardee's.
Yes.
And they're collectible and popular to this day.
Yes.
And I had a bunch.
Yep.
You couldn't even get a Hardee's in Lincoln, Nebraska. I had to get them in Omaha. They were also did like a collaboration with Post Raisin Bran.
Yes.
You could get them maybe in the cereal box. They had a number, let's see, it got up to 84 on the Billboard chart with I Heard It Through the Grapevine.
Don't you know that I heard it through the grapevine? Not much longer would you be mine. Oh yeah, I heard it through the grapevine.
And that was in 1988. So like they had a charted single off of these albums. They had a Christmas album. They had a Christmas special. They had a cartoon. They had, I remember going in 1990 in Des Moines to Adventureland. Yeah. And, it's like an amusement park. And I went with my sister, my mom, and my stepdad. And he won some game. and we won like a 6-foot tall California raisin that just sat in my basement for 15 years. And we had to carry that home. I remember having a white and yellow California raisin t-shirt around this time. Like, it was everywhere. And then it just went, and it was gone. It disappeared. Yeah. And it's never really come back.
There's a collectability to those now.
Oh, for sure.
Even to this day.
Kind of like the Smurf. You remember the Smurf little figurines? It was very similar to that. Mm-hmm. But that's what I know about California raisins.
Wow. Yeah.
Dolan missed it all.
Dolan missed it all. Yeah. It's a shame, too, because it was one of those, you don't want to call it flash in the pan because it was just a little bit more than that. But it was definitely something that made a mark on our childhood.
Well, it was good marketing. It was like Motown ripoffs.
Yep.
And it was claymation for the first time.
Yep.
And it was cool.
Don't you? I mean, you remember them doing like the little dance
Oh, yeah,
and stuff?
for sure.
And then,
Yeah. Yep. I can see it right now.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
California raisins.
It was a big deal. Sadly, it just meant our parents bought us more raisins.
Yeah, and then we had to
for snacks.
give them to Dolan so we could put them in the fire ant hole.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to Untapped.
Okay.
I'm behind here because I was reminiscing about California
Yeah,
raisins.
that happens, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, at least you guys had California raisins and not California lovin' or whatever from Katy Perry's Little Run
Oh,
and
I thought you were going to say
California Girls. There you
I
go.
thought you were going to
Oh.
say from Greece, California.
Oh, I was thought California Love from Tupac and
That'd be all right too.
Yeah.
California love.
California knows how to party.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
All
But
right.
see, that was good.
yeah, it was good.
That was good.
So let's go Froot Hoops first.
Oh, I'm going to say 4.27.
How many chickens?
Haven't got there yet.
Okay.
boy.
Okay. All
See,
right.
I'm still thinking about the.
He's still in the California
still
raisins.
thinking about
world.
raisins.
It's crucial to.
You have to kind of know how many chickens.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm going 4.27.
You're gonna. All right.
I'm
Locked
sticking
in.
with it.
Locked in. That's your final
How
answer.
can I not find it? Is it spelled differently?
Well, it's called Froot Hoops.
Yeah, Froot Hoops platform. I'm not finding it here.
Oh boy, that
Oh.
means Dolan has to do it.
Oh no.
Guess what? The Mandela effect got me. I was spelling it
FRUIC.
I was spelling it FROOT,
Ah.
and it does not come up that way.
Nope.
If you spell it Froot Hoops, it comes up 1,492 check-ins.
1492. Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
Oh, there you go.
Hey. 1492. Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. I'm gonna go 3.8.
I said 427.
395.
That's
Oh.
pretty high.
That's still pretty good.
That is.
It was
That
good.
is.
That's
that
not
was
too bad.
That was
It
my
was.
favorite of the three, I
Yeah.
think.
Mine too. Yeah.
But I did like the Caramelicious more than I thought.
How
I
do
would.
how do we spell Caramelicious here? Caramel.
Like delicious, but caramel.
Yeah, it's a good trick. Yeah.
See, that's like saying like quarter after 12. Like what?
Huh? What? My brain does not compute that way.
Yeah. One friend checked this in.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Thomas Piper.
I'll say it wasn't me.
No, yeah. Thomas checked this one in. So 11,000 check-ins for the Caramelicious.
3.68.
Oh, I feel like it's going to be higher. I feel 3.81.
3.9
Yeah.
11,000.
on the money out of 11,000
That
check-ins.
means
Wow.
most people checked it as a 4 at least.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is surprising, right?
But it was good.
It was really good.
You know,
Yeah.
even before we rate this oatmeal cookie one, I got to say, every beer we did on this series was like phenomenal. Like,
Yeah.
we had no stinkers.
No.
They were
Yeah.
all great.
We shouldn't. Every one of them could have stood on their own.
It was a perfect drown out 2020.
I agree.
I mean, drown out that 1 year.
We couldn't even plan it better than this because we didn't really plan it.
We did not.
Yeah.
No.
Just got lucky.
In your beer journey, you drank this beer 5 years ago.
The oatmeal cookie?
Yes, you did.
What?
Oh, God.
Yes.
5 years ago?
And
Did I say anything?
no.
Okay, good.
No, but I see your check-in doesn't. Your check-in surprises me a little bit.
Oh.
39,000 check-ins for this one.
Oh.
39,000.
Okay, this one's got to be like a 3.6 something.
I'm going to say 3.52.
386.
Oh.
You checked it in as a 4.
I mean, I stand by that. It was
Oh,
actually
wow.
pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I honestly, like I said, I hate oatmeal. I hate raisins, but this beer was,
It was good, right?
it was good.
Sometimes it's, what do they say? Like the sum of the parts is bigger than the whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's the case in this one.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. I can't disagree with that at all. And quite honestly, your feeling now is probably what you felt 5 years ago too, right?
Yeah.
Exactly the same way. So,
Yeah.
man, I am glad.
Felt good to get rid of that 2020 vibe.
I'm so glad we're done with this. So, that being said, next week,
oh boy, hold on to your butts,
Oh.
as they say.
I've
we're
been
going
looking. I've been looking forward to this episode for so long.
So long that we even had an extra beer that was going to be included.
And then somebody drank it.
Somebody drank it.
Yeah.
Oh,
and we don't
man.
have it anymore.
I bought this beer 2.5 years ago. It's been aging in the fridge.
Perfect.
Oh.
And it's named after my favorite band.
That's all you're
Favorite
gonna get.
band
Just
song.
a teaser. Just
That's
a little
all you
bit.
get. But if you want some good, just like classic band knowledge,
Sure.
music knowledge,
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah, tune in.
Oh my gosh, it's all
Tune in and drop out.
Tune in.
and it's a sour,
Oh, wow.
So it's his style too.
Oh,
His
and
favorite
it's
band
a-
and a style he loves.
and it's a raspberry sour.
I can't wait.
Look, Dolan's not happy.
I'm happy because I like the band.
Uh-huh.
I'm a little worried about the raspberry, but like I said,
Because you hate raspberries, but
I love raspberry teas. I love raspberry
Okay.
beers.
well, if you don't like it, just sip it, and me and Rich will finish the rest.
Exactly. 'Cause
That's okay.
It's a big old bomber.
I'll jam out.
We'll do it.
Okay,
All right. Goodbye, 2020, and we're not going anywhere for a while.
let's have another beer.
Thank you for listening to A Beer with Atlas. Special thanks to our brand team for producing the show. Each episode of A Beer with Atlas is powered by Atlas MedStaff, an industry leader in travel healthcare staffing.